Please don't hear any of this, Brad.
And Dad's like, I got the fuck out of there. I was like, oh man, you didn't partake?
Do you fear death?
Oh, one of the greatest lines of all time.
I've got a job to it. I've got a job to it.
Trumpinator 2020.
Making me 30 signs of red salt.
Listened to so much. Are you
That needs two, motherfucker.
You know, if somebody didn't know any better, they'd think you just had them sign something.
Thankfully, you don't know any better.
I know you better.
Yeah, well. So what's up, lady? Episode 57. This is the first time you've been a guest
You
on
put
my
it together. Only. I've been scattered and peppered in amongst other people, but
Yeah.
I was thinking, no, this is not my first time appearing, but it is.
Totally is. Give you just a little closer.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was trying not to be too loud.
No, I always forget you actually have a quiet voice. You can have.
My everyday voice.
Yeah, your everyday voice. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool that I had a cancellation. I was just see what you were up to. I was thinking that would be kind of neat because she's never actually been on. You were on my first episode with Johnny.
With Johnny.
Which was kind of an experiment. And we just kind of kept rolling with it.
Fun.
It was fun. It was great.
Fun.
It was a great time. Then you came back with Scott. You were on the Power Pod. You've been back on the Trump assassination. Well, the debate stream. Back multiple times, but we've never gotten to hang out.
Never both of us.
Just
like
us. I've
You've
been
been
on your
my
show.
show.
Yeah.
We just stopped finishing each other's sentences at this point.
Kind of gotten there.
It's kind of, yeah, I don't have anybody here to feed off of. It's just
you.
I'm so scared. Did you see my cool shirt?
You're having fun with the t-shirt thing. I
Listen,
like it.
Archie was like, so we go and we have all this investment into this, and you just make passive aggressive shirts about people you see around town.
I love it. So, what's going on with the website? Do you have it yet? Like where people can order? Are you working on that now?
Working on it.
Okay.
Working on it just like Phil's working on my intro.
I get it.
We're getting there.
I get it.
I perform best under pressure.
Yeah.
Like the deadline. I have my season 4 premiere is this Tuesday? So it's 1 week away, and I got a huge advertiser, NordVPN.
Nice.
No idea what VPN even stands for. I have
virtual private network, right?
Don't ask me.
Yeah, basically it just hides your internet activity from those who would be watching you,
So
because it's
a
basically
private browser.
Everybody's open to.
So I got to find out what I have a lot to do in a week before season 4 premieres, but best under pressure, and give me a deadline and I'll stay up till midnight a few nights and I'll get it done.
Nice. I'm excited for you. Is that dog on camera too? See, I gotta stop letting him in here.
That was my fault. He followed me in.
No, it's all right. I used to let him in, but then he's a lurker, and then
he pushes me out.
Yeah.
He'll like push me and then it's just like I'm out of the frame.
He's a savage. So season 4 coming out. How many episodes have you done now?
No idea. Like 150,
Something
160.
like that.
Yeah.
What's going to be different this season? Are you going with a theme?
You know, you and I talked about this.
Thought we had.
Whenever we've had a lot of discussions, whenever you had your experiment and everything, and I told you your podcast is still in the infancy. It's like, and then I likened what we do and creating this thing to like having a child and raising a child, and mine, it got into the adolescent mean girl stage a little bit in season 3, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's part of the progression. It's part of watching it grow. I think season 4 might be a little more mature, and not like mature in nature, but you're gonna see it grow a little bit. And you know, just since we wrapped season 3, just so much has changed, like in my personal life, and you know, it's. You thought I was authentic before.
So how long did you end up taking off?
Right, it'll be right under 6 weeks.
Okay.
By the time we'll have gone back on.
So I know you had shared with me, I know when I had wanted to stop doing it, you had kind of shared with me later, and I think we talked about this on your pod, but it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you got to take a step back.
Yeah.
Sometimes, or at least refocus, or kind of
Especially
reset.
for me, you know, I'm confronting truths that I
Yeah.
had buried a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that, you know, leading up to starting the podcast and everything, that's what I what's your podcast about? Oh, it's going to be my truths. It's going to be I had no idea how hard that was going to be.
Yeah, I bet.
And that's what made me want to pull the plug so many times was when I had to start staring my own truths right in the face.
Yeah. Because
You
you're
know.
digging up a lot of just dirty shit
Yeah.
from your past.
Yeah, it's, you know, stuff that, you know, I thought I had forever buried, and sometimes a lot of people might hear me come to a revelation right there.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
hear
I've
this
heard it.
light bulb click, and
Yeah.
those are the parts that are kind of intense. But
Is it-
you know, I've already gone into it, and so I don't backtrack out of it once it's uncovered. That's what my podcast has been about, is to uncover them and get deeper into it. And it's rough, you know.
You feel like it's been a net positive, though. Obviously, you're still doing it.
Mostly positive, yeah.
Yeah.
I could pull the plug on it, but I would feel like a big old failure, and then I would have no direction for my life if I
Right.
pulled the plug on the podcast, because
Right.
this has been the best therapy that.
Yeah.
It's been rough. You
Yeah.
know, it's been, you know, some of the stuff we've had to deal with, and realizing that I don't really, I didn't take into play all the privacy that I was going to be giving up for
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah. But you're doing the small business thing.
Yeah.
And did my dad ever show up to one of those? Did you give
He
him
hasn't been.
Okay.
It's once a month, and
Okay.
so it'll be.
Because I know he said he was
next
going to go to the
Wednesday.
next one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next
cool.
Wednesday.
So
Small
what's going
Business
on with that? I know a little bit about it.
It's
but
a Farmington Small Business Collaborative. Hal Henson and his wife Lisa head it up, and
Okay.
it's for Farmington, and they're integrating a lot of the Prairie Grove small businesses.
Okay,
so
cool.
it's becoming more of a Farmington Prairie Grove small business
That's awesome.
collaborative, where small businesses get together and you introduce yourself and just find out how any other businesses might be able to benefit yours, and what also I can offer, you know, to other businesses. He asked me to be the speaker on that. I was a speaker like 2 months ago on it, and I spent, because I had a month to prepare, and I spent 3 weeks trying to think, how am I going to convince a room full of, you know, business people, you know, real legitimate bona fide business people to listen to my podcast, you
Yeah.
know. And so I realized at that point I had spent 3 weeks going about it the wrong way. So the last week I prepared to tell everybody how their business needed a podcast.
I
It
actually
had
like
nothing
that.
to do with listening to my brand, but
Right.
every small business needs a podcast. So
Even if it's a limited release,
it's
I think
just
it's a
once a
brilliant
month.
idea.
Just,
Yeah, even
you
if
got to
it's-
connect with people on that level that corporate radio won't let businesses connect with
I
the
know.
public.
And you have a fun. Your show still feels like fun old school radio. You know, you got the sound effects going. I know you're still trying to work on some of that live and how to
Yeah.
do all that, which I think it's great. It reminds
It's
me
all
a lot
I
of that
know.
old school.
It's-
But it's still.
it's what I
it-
know.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah.
It's a cool. It's nostalgic, but it's also fresh, and it's you. It's authentic, and it's. I think it's great that you're doing all that
Thank
stuff.
you.
You're really good with the editing. It's a fun show to listen to. I like that you're having guests on recently. That's kind of
I
new
had
to you. a
so
little
many
bit.
guests on in season 3.
Yeah,
I don't
because you
know.
hadn't had a ton before season 3 at all.
No,
Really.
and then I started coming onto your show
Yeah.
and seeing how much fun you have with guests,
Yeah.
and realized, gosh, that was something that when I was in radio, the only people I got to interview were people that were used to being interviewed all the
Yeah,
time.
like
the country music stars
celebrities
and stuff.
coming into town
They're used to it. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I had no idea how much fun it is just to interview
It's regular people.
just
man.
people that are in your life. You know,
Yeah.
and you learn things. Just like it's craziness, the
Yeah.
things that you uncover about people on your show.
Oh, it's fun, and if you like, it's all about getting the right guest on too. I mean, if you get somebody on that you just got to drag every answer out.
Yeah.
But if you can get somebody on that's just an interesting person that wants to talk, it makes it really easy. Especially, I mean, there's so many things to talk about too.
Yeah.
It's like with political season going on. It's like you can just eliminate that. There's so many people who are like, I won't be friends with, or I won't talk to whoever. It's like, well, then you're losing out.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of great people who are going to vote one way or the other, and if you're just going to cut them out for that, then what are we doing here?
I
mean,
voted already.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm starting to realize though, maybe I'm not going to early vote again.
yeah.
Yeah,
Where'd
it's
you-
not so much on the big issues, but some of the smaller issues.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Local stuff?
gosh, yeah. Did I use my best vote that I could there? So
Yeah, that whole the whole thing with the damn casino thing. I'm still trying to get to the bottom.
that's
of
the
it.
one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think I voted yes.
I've got people
But
asking me about it. I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out myself. Like, it's so. I feel like both sides are.
I
don't
think
know.
that's about a 50-50.
The way it's worded on both
Yeah.
sides is confusing.
well,
It's
the one that I
intentionally
cared
confusing.
about didn't get on there at all. So then it
Was that
just a medical marijuana.
medical?
Yeah.
What was it going to be? It was.
Instead of just 1-year licenses, the license would be for 3 years. The fee would go down. There would be more expanded patient access care as far as better quality
Yeah.
products, better quality.
You know what we ought to do is just federally legalize the shit and quit having to pay
Wouldn't it be nice?
fucking taxes on a card and all this bullshit.
Wouldn't it be nice?
We're still getting fucked.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of off-record conversations about prices in Oklahoma versus Arkansas and stuff, and it's just
It's nuts.
It's sickening.
It's
sickening.
infuriating. I mean, it's like you can't. I don't even know if this is on the ballot with the Fayetteville alcohol.
I don't know
Okay.
what was.
They're supposed. I had heard it was going to be on the ballot to basically legalize alcohol sales in stores
I
on
didn't see
Sunday.
anything about that.
You didn't see it on there? Okay. I've got.
I would have voted for that.
Yeah, sir. Well, you were losing so much money to Springdale. It's like when I used to go up to Jane, Missouri on Sundays. Whole parking lot's full of Arkansas
Yeah.
cars that you're just giving money to another state because of this outdated Bible Belt
Antiquated,
bullshit.
yeah.
That's really none of your business. If somebody wants to have a drink on a Sunday, why are you? It's just such a dumb, outdated rule, and I can't believe that in 2024 I'm having to drive to Springdale. It's such an inconvenience.
When you're already buzzed, I mean, it's like, God dang, man! You lawmakers, you have to fucking think about the alcoholics.
I know.
Have some pity.
Nobody's fucking putting the alcoholic first.
No, nobody puts the alcoholic or the pothead first. We're just lumped into society. with the
Junkies and
rest of
addicts
it.
can just fuck themselves.
I'm
basically.
I'm gonna make a shirt that says I'm a crystal Methodist. What?
I like that. That's actually pretty good.
I meant to make it today and forgot.
So
I made
like
this one
to
instead.
see you having fun, and you seem to be having fun with these T-shirts.
It is so much.
And I'm having fun watching you. Not like through the window with the binoculars. That's
Yes.
fun too.
Yeah.
But to see some of the shit you're posting, like this one's fun.
It says, "Your dad is my cardio." I see a lot of stuff on the Shine website, and
Yeah.
so I screenshot it. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna make that a shirt." So this was one of those.
Well, I know a little bit about it because I got to see you and Brittany doing the Durham shirts. But walk people through what this process actually is, because it's not just run it through a thing and it's done. It's pretty painstaking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
walk us through how you made that shirt.
Started with a design that I ripped off the internet. Your dad is my cardio. I was like, "Ooh, I like that." So
And that means he goes jogging with you.
absolutely.
You guys get a-
push-ups, push-ups.
I'm getting a visual now. We can move on. And that includes my dad, so I'm trying to move on as quickly as possible.
I didn't mean this about your dad.
Well, it says your dad, so.
Well, I didn't quite think that through because your dad's a customer of mine. Sorry, Belle.
You know.
Anyway, okay, so pick a design, and then you have to go and you input your design. For mine, mine was just words and font. And then you send it to the machine, the vinyl. They call it a Cricut, CRICUT. It cuts the vinyl, and so it cuts the vinyl into whatever design that I had inputted on the computer.
Yep.
I pull it out, I peel it off the little sticky thing, and then I have this little, I don't even know what you call
little
it.
extractor.
It's like
tool.
A needle thing, and then I have to peel the vinyl off, and you have to make sure.
Letter by letter.
Letter by letter, and like this one right here. Let me see. Okay, like this right here, I would have to peel that little thing out of that A. So I have a lighted magnifying kind of a thing that I use to do that, and then you flip it onto the shirt and you press it 315 degrees for 30 seconds with a 5-second preheat, and then you have a t-shirt.
Then you got one side of it anyway.
Yeah.
If you want to do two, you repeat. Does the vinyl print, like, can you do color and stuff, or is it just solid color vinyl?
It's just solid color
solid
vinyl.
colors.
Yeah. We are branching out to do direct to film transfers, which is the printed. So I have a company I outsource for that. So
you're talking about like where it's
your
literally
logo,
printed into the shirt.
Yeah, like that thing right here, whatever it is, it would be like true to color, not just a piece of vinyl. It would be true to color.
What's the pro and cons between those two kinds? Does the vinyl eventually wash off if you keep washing it over time?
Yeah.
Whereas
it's just the quality, and the DTF transfer is saturated into the fabric itself. It's heat pressed into the fabric. So it when you press it, it transfers the ink into your shirt, onto your shirt. So that is something that I think is our long-term goal for 2025, to get our own DTF machine. That way I don't have to outsource. Everything will be done right there.
You got a lot of balls in the air.
I have a lot of balls everywhere.
Well, certainly. What all do you have going on aside from the t-shirt stuff? Because I know you were trying to do talent management. You got all these things. Are you still pursuing all of that?
The only thing that we have refocused is the perfume and makeup line. We're not going to be doing that anymore.
Not doing that? Was it too expensive?
No, it's too much. Too many balls. Way too many balls. That might be something that I lend my name to in the future. If somebody like maybe, let's say Brittany's daughter, if she wants to get her soap line going, and that might be something that I lend my name to and let her have. Okay, the Urban Dictionary, that's your baby. I don't really want to be involved. It's just too much. That was a lot of going from season 2 into season 3. I was trying to do too much with no clear focus, and removing the perfume and makeup line from my long-term plan helped a lot, because now it feels like I really only have 3 things to focus on, and that's the podcast, the t-shirt, and the talent management.
That's good. Get it a little bit more manageable.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work.
It's so much work.
And I mean, you're in the legal side, the LLCs and stuff.
Yeah.
You doing all. I might need some help with some of that. I need to.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I wake up working. I go to bed working, and I joke about the marathon baths. When I'm in there, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm researching. So it's like, it is from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed. My poor family, I'm like hyper focused on the brand right now, because it is taking every bit of energy that I have. But it's worth it. I'm loving it. Oh my God, doing this is... And I was just thinking this morning, after you had hit me up to come over here and do this show tonight, I was thinking, this is the part where in radio is so competitive, and I would never be able to talk about my friend across town who had their show. I would never be able, but with podcasting and stuff, that's the bread and butter of it. You have to appear on other people's shows, and you have to cross promote to really make it to do it good.
To do it
and
right.
that's
And
just, like,
there's no
so
constraints from
awesome.
the outside keeping everybody apart.
Or treating anybody like competition.
Yeah.
I don't see any other podcaster in the entire world as my form of competition.
Yeah.
And that is that. I just realized that this morning how, like, freaking freeing that was.
Yeah, it kind of is. Because I'm also not worried. Like, I'm doing my thing, and whatever it does, I'm not worried about. But it's also great to collide. Like, just to, obviously, you're a year down the road from me, so I've got you to ask questions of. Hopefully, I can help here or there. I do think I have an idea for your audio sound effects thing.
Because I ordered the wrong cable. I needed a male and I ordered the female, and that's why none of that was going to work.
Okay. I do think I have a solution for that long term. But, so season 4 coming out. Anything you want to talk about now, or is it all going to be surprise?
For the season 4 premiere?
Yeah.
I can tell you that I am going to be interviewing a few people about their first time.
All right.
And we'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that one.
You are bringing some ladies out here, though.
I am bringing my girls out here.
On the 9th?
On the 9th. Let's see, I'm having my season 4 premiere on election day, and I'll be coming out here that night, right, for election night
You'll be
coverage.
here that night, yep.
And then 2 reverends and a pagan, Sheila and Shauna, we're coming out here on the 9th. And we are, I don't know what I would like to say we're bringing
Shauna has a migraine.
Shauna's not going to have a migraine.
We'll see.
She has a migraine. I'll kick her in the
whatever.
I'll kick her in the jimmy until
Okay.
her migraine goes away.
So I've got surprises going on that night. It's going to be a fun
what?
surprises.
Surprises. Will you tell me one of them?
It might have to do with red sauce.
Okay.
An individual. I might have a guest
Mr.
or two of my own.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen him since the last time I saw him.
Do you see how it works? I'm looking forward to that. I had y'all, I think we had changed the date, so I had y'all for this coming up weekend, but we had moved it. So we're all good on the dates. We confirmed the other day. I'm super looking forward to that. I've now met Sheila. Last time...
Well, we had Tequila Sheila for your season 2 premiere.
Yeah, it was the
That's
season 2
right.
premiere. Yeah.
I watched that. That was a enlightening show.
It was an interesting talk. Fun lady. I want that inside track into the local crime families. I want to get some of these people on. I know that's probably their death
Which
wish.
local crime families?
Like the just the guys that run some of these strip clubs and stuff.
Oh, you want Tony?
I
don't know. We can get a Tony C.
It'd be awesome.
Why don't I just call him?
Well, do what you gotta do.
Do you know what his last name is?
I haven't heard it in many years.
Catropola.
Yeah. Sounds close enough for me.
Is he even still alive?
The old man? I haven't heard otherwise.
Catropa.
I know his son used to be like the DJ at the titty bars and whatnot. He used to. All right, now you lady.
We'll get him on one of our shows.
Get him on one, and if you get him on, I want to come and observe.
I just put him on this couch.
That's a legend right there.
That is. My God, Tony C. He was the person my daddy warned me about growing up, and then the person that I eventually went and worked some for. People, I wouldn't say his name really had any negative connotations, but he took care of his people.
Yeah.
So I guess, I think you say mob boss, Fayetteville crime.
That's all alleged.
I don't even know that legend. Was it?
No, I said that's alleged.
Okay.
We don't know if there's any crime. Probably no crime.
None. The only criminal in this room is me.
That's been caught.
That's been caught. That's right. I want to know what you have planned, because you've just now kicked off season 2 and you came in breathing a breath of fresh air. By the way, this new couch is amazing. I like it much better than the one that I would just like sink
Yeah,
into.
no, it never did work until we got this in.
I
So
like this.
Stillwell and I almost
It looks
died
good on camera too.
getting this. Yeah, it does. It does.
It's very
Ironically,
pleathery.
the first guest we had on the couch was Dr. Well, yeah, I think because this was from the end of season 1. Dr. Staley. We got the Brown psychiatry couch in here. We had Dr. Staley on as our first guest, and then he hung out for our Night of Madness. That was wild. It was like this confluence. Like, he came on the pod because his son had been over here for the weekend, and he was going to come do a pod, take the son home. Well, that night I had Larry and a couple of his buddies coming on, Larry Darling. And so his son's still having fun. He's like, can I just hang out for the night pod? I was like, sure, come on. And then Larry and his buddies came over. My cousin Jackie was in town. She's like, can I come on the pod? I was like, fuck it. Just everybody come on the pod. And it was wild. But, you know, some of those, they're fun. They're
It
definitely
was
fun.
so, because I told you, and I know this is, people are seeing this and everything, that's my son's doctor. The doctor, right?
You did tell me, yeah.
I did
yeah.
tell you that.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
We had his appointment a few weeks ago, and like, dude, just because I'm me and because I don't think, I kept almost dropping references to that show, dude. I was like, oh, but yep, that's
Did
right.
you
That's
introduce
right.
yourself? Like,
No,
say that you knew
I
him?
didn't, because I'm not for. I know I can't appear on a show with him because that's like a
Yeah.
conflict. But no, I didn't. I'm
didn't
sure
say
he
anything?
probably figured it out. I was wearing my Durham shirt.
Oh, were you? Maybe.
Speaking of, have a couple of orders for Durham shirts. by the
Let
way.
me send those with you before
Please
you get
do,
out of here.
yes.
Yeah, don't let me forget about that.
But what have you got planned now that you've gone into? You had your experiment. You got your clear vision. You've got your way. I want to know what you have planned. We've covered my season 4. What have you? Just keeping on doing what you're doing, because obviously it's working.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and get around. You know, when I first started, you were talking about, like, toddler legs on season 1, right? Like, you're just kind of figuring it out. I was really dipping back to the same well, having a lot of the same people on, you know. Trying a lot of different things, like the party pod or the power pod that we did, you know, 10 episodes in, getting different groups of people. I liked that. There were some things I didn't like. Just trying to eliminate the things I didn't like, and stick with and do more of the things I did. As far as format, not really change that. I do want to get more music on, and that's one of those things that, like, probably next year I won't do the podcast during football. So I'll probably just take like a couple months off
That's good.
and just be, you know, because I was doing like 4 a week, and then football started, and I'd still had stuff scheduled. So I got so overwhelmed. But, you know, like, I've got a set schedule now, because I'm a creature of habit. I got to have my schedule, you know, and so now that I've got it in a flow, going to just keep doing 2 a week, and then Walt and I are going to start recording that album this weekend. So we've got 13 songs worked up. We're live ready. So we've already got 1 drum track laid. And so I'm going to start doing my parts on it. I'm going to teach him how to do the editing and stuff. So teaching him a little bit about audio engineering and how to layer tracks and stuff. And it'll be relearning for me, because I haven't done this myself, like recorded an album since like 2001 probably. So it's gonna be learning for me too. I mean, the basics are all still the same, but
Yeah. I have not sent your music yet to Moranos. I'm going.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you said you wanted to do that maybe the beginning of the year.
Well,
we had
next
talked
year,
about doing
anyway.
kind of a meet and greet kind of a thing. Still want to do that.
Yes.
That's a perfect place.
We
And oh
definitely
my God,
need
the
to do that.
burgers. You had a burger from there?
Jason Green sent me a picture of them eating there last
So
week or
good.
sometime. He said that
You
it was
can't
good.
get a burger and hand cut fries for $10 anywhere. Huge burger.
Really?
Huge burger. Yeah.
Maybe we should go check it out. I'd
We
like to
should.
just go in there.
They
We'll
have a
pop
little
in.
stage set over in the corner.
Yeah,
Pool
I've seen
tables.
some cool. It looks cool in there. I've
It's
seen
just
pictures.
a cozy little.
And where is that? again?
Well, it's we're Electric Cowboy or whatever it's called this week. Whiskey 101.
Oh, yeah.
It's just in the same under
It's
the
in
same
that-
roof all the way
Yeah,
down
yeah, okay.
to the right. Yeah.
And then the old skate rink. That's a Tony C property. Now,
What's going on in there?
I don't know. Me and my dad tried to.
I think it's a nightclub. And they
Yeah.
have tattoos in the parking lot.
They got wild shit in the parking lot. There's cameras everywhere.
And then the Cowgirl Coffee is in the parking lot. Isn't that there?
I don't know what all they got. I know
Bikini
Yeah,
coffee.
yes.
Bikini coffee.
Yes, I've.
Aaron loves to go there.
I'm sure he does.
He says he likes to go get his hot chocolate from the girls with the fluffiness.
That's a good way to say it. Fluffy girls.
Yeah, the girls with the fluffiness
No,
out.
my dad and I tried to get a hold of Tony C's son. He runs that place, and they rent it out for events. We were thinking about doing it for Durham Fest 2, and we couldn't get anybody to call us back. We physically went on the lot and were waving at cameras, trying to
Holding
get-
up signs.
Yeah, nobody came to the door. It was so I don't know. I think. Now, I think my parents had looked into renting it out for a special needs dance, and I don't think that was the right venue.
I
There's a
don't
bunch
think
of
it would
cages
be.
for ladies and
They
whatnot.
have cages?
Yeah, apparently.
That would be a great place for Durham Fest 3.
I know. Well, I think it'd be a great place for a meetup.
It would be a good... If they have cages, it's just going to be a good place in general.
We do need to do a meetup. I want that to be our focus for 2025 at some point. And maybe even it's at a Durham Fest. We do a 2-part event. During the day, we have a big podcast. Live, maybe? No, maybe not live. But we'll definitely film
No, we got to do live.
You gotta
Now
do
that you
live?
said no.
I'm afraid
yeah.
of live.
That's why we need to do it.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool. And just have
And we'll
people
just
who
have
had
to
been
have
on podcasts.
Clear ground rules.
Just come up.
No boobies.
No boobs.
No, because, no, you can't put boobs out on YouTube.
Can you not? I haven't really looked
No
into
puppies. I don't think puppies
Okay.
are allowed.
it. All right.
So, the clear ground rules would be no puppies and no booties. You know who I want to be there? Chelsea.
She'll be there. She'll be there.
How have I not ever come into contact with this girl?
You never met my sister?
I don't think so. I don't think I met her.
Well, she was at Durham Fest. I must have not introduced you. She was at both of them, so y'all must
That's
just.
horrible.
I must not introduce y'all. That's crazy. Yeah, I thought you'd met her.
The We Love Chelsea shirts just took off. People want to order them. I have to get those online too.
She is super
You're making
proud of that chick.
superstars out of people.
I don't know about all that, but that made her month. Man, that podcast. She had
That was a
so
good show.
much love from that, and she was great.
She was amazing.
It wasn't like
She's one of your top 5 guests. Right
oh,
there.
absolutely.
Considering
Top-
the fact that I've been on 3 times. That
Sure.
says- yeah.
Sure. Well, you only count as one though.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'd be a fat joke. See, I'm
That's
boxed into
true.
what I
We
can
can't
say.
have that.
I
We can't have that now.
So no, she was definitely top 5.
You're gonna have to have her on again. She put you into your place. That was.
Oh man, she's just that's her, and she's done so much public speaking. Her and I are so opposite in so many ways, but she's really good at. She's just not ashamed of speaking in front of people.
No.
I can't even do a podcast, and I still don't even look at my own camera. I intentionally don't look at the camera because it makes me uncomfortable. But she can just get up and talk to people.
This dog is.
It's probably shit on you
just
twice.
farted.
Yeah, I was about to say
I think you're.
he's dying. That's part of the reason I don't want him in here is because he's dying on camera. So now my kids are gonna go back and watch these pods when they're my age and oh that's when Hemmett died.
No, that's when your
during the
dog farted on the loudmouth podcaster. That's what they'll say.
That bitch got sharded on
I
live.
was checking, making sure there wasn't anything running down my arm. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man, no, I can't promise anything. Part of me, I don't feel like he's suffering.
No. Sleep apnea is not
But
suffering.
we're also trying to keep him, comfortable. Of course, when we moved down here, we didn't let the dogs come in the house. It was, or at least out here, I didn't grow up with dogs in the house. You just weren't used to it. And then as he started getting old, it was like, why not? Just let him come in. And now he's used to the inside, so when it gets cold or hot, he wants to be in here, and he does that most of the time. But
Quick question. Do you just sit outside my neighborhood with a sign up that says, all of Nicole's neighbors, please come on my show? Because that Austin, he's my neighbor too. The other Austin.
Curtis?
Yes, he lives on the street in front of me.
No shit.
No shit. His daughter and Aaron are really good friends.
Well, I just walked down door, and Sean Erie's coming on my pod.
Who?
Sean Erie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Coming in December.
That is going to be a good one.
I
That's
think.
going to be
I think
fun.
we'll probably work up
I am very proud of that.
I think we're going to work up a song.
A song.
Mm-hmm. Little collab going on.
Do I need to send my accordion?
The Golden Tiger.
You can send it with somebody. I think
might need
he
that.
and I are great as neighbors that just
Neighbor.
I'll send it over here
Yeah.
via courier or something. I think I'm a little loud for him.
We'll see. I don't know. I've never met him. I've been talking to him, though.
That's cool.
Been chatting.
Yeah.
He's got some major foundational issues going on with his house.
Yeah, he told Archie about that.
And, so he's world of shit. I literally and figuratively.
When the shit hits the fan,
Like,
the shit hits the fan.
Is your house not on a concrete pad? Is it like crawl space?
Yes, crawl space.
See, man, that's wild.
Is crawl space on the houses on that side of the street just because of the way they are on the other side of the street? They don't have crawl space.
What year was your house built?
75.
Okay. Because my dad had to fix a bunch of problems. Like my grandparents' house, when my grandpa died, half of it was on slab, but then they did this addition that was on crawl space, and it was sinking. And like he had to get in there and jack it up.
Our house needs to be lifted. It needs to, because you can see it separating from the top.
Yeah.
All of the houses in our neighborhood are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I think
That's
his
nuts,
was
though.
a tree root grew into that line, that specific line, and caused it to shift.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we don't have that issue. That would be really shitty.
Yeah, I got to figure out who else lives over there. See who else I can get, because that'd be
It's just like you poaching my neighbor.
Austin Curtis, Austin Perrine, Will. Yeah, I'll just have to start knocking on doors. I get my little Mormon suit on.
Oh, I'm ordering business cards Friday, so will you at least hand them out while you're knocking? If you don't know who this woman is, I'm her friend. I would love to poach you, please. Speaking of poaching,
suppose.
Jason Green is coming on my show.
Good.
I don't know when, but he is coming on my show.
I know he volunteered to.
He did. And that's why I said yes. I have a hard time asking people to be on
Do
my
you?
show. Yeah.
See, I
Most
have
of
no
the
struggle
people
with
that
that.
have come on my show have either volunteered or I have picked up on their wantingness to come, like Jason Green. He was
Right,
like,
right.
please let me be on your show, so we'll do that. But
I'm actually
yeah.
really excited about that episode. Just you two talking.
Now, Jason Stillwell, I had asked you beforehand.
Yeah.
I had said, give me a little bit to work with. Give me a little bit. What is politics? And I don't remember what exactly. Oh, you said ask him what his experience has been doing the podcast with you and everything. I'm not going to ask you anything about Jason Green.
You don't need to.
I want to get
Not that
that
Stillwell can't
guy
hang. Stillwell-
is so funny.
Stillwell's a little closer to the vest. You know Green when you meet him. He's wide open. Full throttle, that guy.
I know, and I can't wait for that. I think I'm just
Oh,
going to
I'm-
turn his microphone on and turn mine off, sit back and watch.
When I
It's
saw that
fun.
interaction happen between you two, I just can't wait.
It'll happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to have him booked. I have, for the first time, somebody who I was in the Hooskow with.
Really?
I'm
That's a
going to
pretty
have
cool
on my
story.
show. Yeah. One of my old Hooskow friends.
You might have talked. Did y'all have a lot of prison sex in there? Was there a lot of lesbian prison sex?
There was.
There was.
Yes. And
I know you probably talked
non-lesbian
about that.
sex.
earlier podcast, but it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Where are the opportunities for that?
For me specifically, I can tell you exactly where it was.
Yeah,
It was in
please.
between Seg 1 and Seg 2.
Was there an alleyway in there?
There is a very small sliver of a space where it's blocked off now. I have since found out the door.
No scissoring sign over the...
The door has now been, like, I guess, welded shut to
Because of you lesbian inmates back there getting wild. You ruined it for everyone.
There was the control room was like in the middle of the hub, right? And then this little hallway where we would go to get the cleaning supplies, and then you could either come back out and exit to go to the main hallway by the hub, or you could take the other way, which was like, I don't know, maybe 10 feet of non-cameraed floor space.
So y'all just had... Was it like giant piles of people, or would y'all just sneak in like 2 at a time? Or could y'all like stack it up? Just bodies on the ground, man. It's every guy's dream to talk about
10 tall,
how lesbians
10
think.
tall. No.
Because if we could crack that
My
code...
experience there was actually with a male guard in that part of the area. Oh, and there was also the staircase. I forgot about the staircase. Down at the bottom of the staircase, the top of the camera couldn't. So there was
Hold
that
on.
too.
So we can confirm male guards and female prisoners are fucking the prisoners.
100%.
As one who's been fucked by a male guard.
100% they fucking.
Wow.
They be fucking. You ain't gonna stop any inmate from fucking a girl or a guy. You're just not gonna stop
Do you
it.
think the lady guards at the male prisons are fucking the guards?
Oh, absolutely.
Or the prisoners as well? That's got to be a thing.
Yeah.
So that gives you some hope.
Yeah.
As
yeah.
a prisoner, right? Like, maybe I can fuck her.
Yeah.
Like, gives you something to work on.
Yeah, it gives you something to get up and put your Wet n Wild eyeliner on for.
Now,
Yes.
it's probably easier for female guards to get fucked by, or excuse me, female prisoners get fucked by male guards, right? Because men will fuck anything.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's challenging for the male prisoners to try and get that one guard the attention? You think they're all fighting over like who can?
I think that for females, being an incarcerated female, we're lonely anyway. Guys don't give a fuck, you know.
But they want to fuck all the time.
Right. So whether they're fucking inside or whether they're fucking outside, you know, a lot of the...
Yeah, they don't care. But I'm saying the lady guard, she's got to be doubly on guard, right?
She got to be doubly hot. Yeah, I mean...
She wouldn't even have to be hot.
You don't think she'd have to be hot?
For a prisoner?
Oh.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, male prisoners and a hot female guard, that's got to be agonizing.
Oh, yeah.
But you're saying there's a chance.
Oh, yeah. It's not even a chance.
It's going to happen.
There's a probability. It's not even a possible
Do you
probability.
Really? So what if ladies get the job to work in prisons just so they can fuck prisoners? You think some of them do that?
There's been some that have gotten jobs in order to get their boothing out. There's a whole community. Yeah, there's the woman Vicky White who in Alabama, she was a guard and she ended up having relations with a guy. She broke him out and she was like a year from retiring. She had worked there her whole life and broke him out of jail, and they were on the run for a good couple of weeks in Indiana. This was last year.
That's a fun love story. I love that.
Until she killed herself. Cause,
I mean,
well,
it
the
didn't end
pit
well.
maneuver and the cops got him, and she ended
I knew
up,
it wasn't going to end well, but how fun for those couple of weeks, right? Like,
oh my
we're
God,
just
the
fucking,
true Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
That had to have been some of the best ice cream
Sure, whatever
they
you want to
had
call it.
for those 2 weeks, whatever that had to have been some intense. Can you imagine?
Have you seen Natural Born Killers?
No, I maybe parts.
Oh man, that's a great stoner movie. You'd love it.
Okay.
Tarantino wrote
Oh,
it.
okay, then I have seen it.
Oliver Stone
And that's
directed
Uma
it.
Thurman.
No, it's
Who am I thinking? I'm thinking of Kill Bill.
you're thinking of Kill Bill, or well, Uma Thurman's also in Pulp Fiction.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. No, who is the chick in Man, my memory is so terrible. Woody Harrelson is the main dude, and Juliette Lewis is the chick in that one. Great movie. But it's basically, you know, she's a teenager getting molested by her dad. He comes in, starts kind of seeing her. They kill her parents, and they run out on the run. And as they're on the run, they're just doing a murder spree. Meanwhile, you've got Robert Downey Jr. playing an Australian, kind of like, what are those old sensations? It'd be like the National Enquirer of video, like a Stars TV kind of thing. He was one of those trash journalists, right? Just following the story. And so he's like, my name's Wayne Gale, and we're on the trail of Mickey and Mallory Knox, you know, real intense. Following this murder spree, and eventually they get caught like midway through the movie. And then the second half takes place many years later while they're in prison, and it's the breakout sequence. You'd love it. It's fantastic. Me and Max just watched it.
I might watch that as my go-to-sleep movie tonight. And it's called what? Natural Born Killers?
Natural Born Killers. You want me to loan you the VHS?
I have a DVD player. I don't have a VHS. I did have a VCR up until recently.
Well, that was a joke because I love physical media, but I probably do have the VHS. I have the Blu-ray, but you could probably stream it.
So you just made a comment about digital media. You obviously, I don't know, you can't turn it around in here, but there's hundreds, if not thousands of CDs and stuff. Is that still your preferred
Oh yeah, if I can
means
get
to
to
listen?
it, like if a band releases a physical copy, I will get it.
Is it just for the nostalgic, or because it's a physical thing, like digital media, you can't hold it, it's not tangible?
It's two parts. Yeah, it's part of the nostalgia of well, it started with my dad's vinyl. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd have those vinyl records, and these records are 30 years old and I'm looking at them, but I'd never seen them. So like, this opens up here and this has got a fold and this thing comes out. Like, some of those artists in the 70s were really creative with their LP packaging. You know, especially guys like Alice Cooper, you know, the Rolling Stones had zippers on them. I mean, it was just a fun experience. It was like a piece of art that came with the music. And so CDs...
And it was only then when we knew the lyrics, when the CDs
if the lyrics were in it.
If we were lucky.
If you were lucky enough.
Yeah.
You really didn't see a lot of that until like the 90s with CDs. I started seeing a lot more lyrics, but a lot of bands just didn't put lyrics out in the 70s. And there's so many disputed lyrics from that era too, you know? But no, part of it's a physical thing that I say I own this. No matter who owns the rights to the streaming, whatever. Because like on movies, like you might subscribe to one service, well, they sell the rights to that property to another streaming service. And now you no longer have it. Where it's like, no matter what, I can watch Star Trek on Blu-ray whenever I want to. I don't have to subscribe or do any of that shit. But also, they're changing stuff. Like, they're going back to movies, and if it's not culturally acceptable today, they'll go delete scenes in old movies or change the language.
And the music rights.
Or the music rights change.
And that's always going to be one of my pet peeves. Beverly Hills 90210.
Yes.
What? Anyway, you can't...
Who was the blonde chick on it? Tori Spelling. God damn.
Are you talking about Tori Spelling, or are you talking about
Tori
okay.
Spelling.
Your dog just kicked me.
I told you he didn't need to be in here.
But yeah, you cannot find digitally any of the shows that existed with the music as it was back then. All the music has been replaced. So unless you had actually the DVDs, which at one point I did have all of them, and then I lost them all.
Well, that sucks. So if you watch it now on streaming, the music's different.
Yeah, the music that the key people got married to, the songs that made the scenes. One of them was REM, Losing My Religion, and that was one of the main songs of a very key scene of that whole series between, was it Brenda and Dylan. But that song is not playing now. If you watch it on something else, it's some stupid song nobody's ever heard of. Yeah,
it's like E.T. They removed all the guns, all the cops' guns, and put walkie-talkies in their place digitally.
I didn't know
It's
that.
like, that doesn't even make any fucking sense. That's
No.
just a big fucking virtue signal that we're anti-gun. But now the movies are like that.
Yeah.
And even Spielberg came out and said he regretted doing that. So movies need to stay in the time because they're a piece of history.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine going and digitally changing all the interiors of the homes to make them look modern? That's part of the fun of watching 80s movies for me is like fucking wallpaper,
And like people,
linoleum.
like people like me, I relate to music. Like
Right.
if a moment,
Okay.
if a song is playing and a moment happens, it's seared into my brain. They're joined.
Best movie soundtrack.
Best movie soundtrack. Oh my god.
I know you got a few.
I,
Because it is important. And there's movies like Pulp Fiction is a great example. The music that drops in that.
Scarface.
Scarface. Is that got a good soundtrack?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. It's on me and Max's short list, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
That would have been early 80s, 83-ish, something like that. I could see that being a banger. There's a lot of nightclub scenes in that movie.
Yeah, it's like it's a show that was in the 80s that's portraying something that was in the early 70s. So it wasn't like they were trying to go back decades
So it was a
before.
timepiece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
For when
It didn't take place in
Cuba,
present day.
no, when
Yeah.
Cuba refugees
Yeah.
came over. And
Kind of like The Godfather.
Yeah.
Was filmed but took
What
place.
about you? Movie soundtrack.
Man,
You asked that as right off the cuff. It's like, oh my god.
I don't know if I could say a specific movie. I'd say directors who have killer sound. Rob Zombie. I'm not a fan of his music, but that motherfucker, when he directs a movie, his soundtrack is banging. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. He rebooted the Michael Myers franchise, Halloween franchise. Those are good. And then Quentin Tarantino, man, Pulp Fiction soundtrack. I didn't like a lot of the 90s. Like, there were a lot of... Do you remember when bands started getting, like... You'd always have singles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there'd be the album, but then there'd be, like, the soundtrack song. Where they'd just have bands do a song for a soundtrack so they could sell
Yeah.
soundtracks. And this is a
Okay.
90s thing.
Yeah.
And so if you got the soundtrack, it was kind of like a B-sides collection of all these popular bands, which was really infuriating. 'cause the
One
songs-
main song and then
Yeah, there'd be like the main theme of the movie
Yeah.
and then all this other shit that half of it wasn't even in the movie. It was just, but it was making big bucks. You had like Bush and bands like Live, Collective Soul, you know, they'd have that soundtrack hit or whatever, which, you know, as a music fan, you go and buy these things and it was really fucked up. That was before digital. Then you could just buy whatever song you wanted, which was really great in the evolution of that kind of bullshit. Because that was capitalist nonsense and it pissed me
Well,
off.
I even found myself in not a bind, but not a predicament, but I was like, Brad, I know you have a bunch of CDs. Do you happen to have... Then I named a specific song and a specific band because I needed to rip it in for my audio. I needed
Yeah.
to have it where I can physically... I had to end up buying that. I had to buy it, and like you were saying, if it existed on a CD, if I would have had a CD, I wouldn't have had to buy it. So
Yeah, that's how we make our own ringtones.
yeah,
Is we'll just grab, because I mean, everything I've got on my computer is ripped from a CD. Actually, it's not digital copies. I'm really particular about that too, because you can like if let's just say you pre-order it, right? Well, should arrive at your house roughly the day it comes out, but when you pre-order it, you can also get the digital copies. But I don't trust the digital copies. I want the physical ripped copy, which becomes digital, because then it's from my physical copy.
and there's nothing else
like it's
embedded
children.
into it. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
It's breeding
right.
onto my computer.
That's a little much, but
I
I,
mean,
understand what you're
You
saying.
see, well,
Yes,
I'm
I
trying to
do.
convey an idea to you.
It's conveying.
Okay.
Consider yourself conveyed.
It's conveyed.
It's conveyed.
Check. But no, I just love physical media. I love the art. I love the experience. And it kind of sucks that it's gone away.
Yeah.
I mean, you're super way older than I am. You remember, like...
Eat shit. Eat shit. I'm not super older. Dick.
Oh, fuck.
Now,
But you do
now
remember
go
how
get
cool-
Grandma another beer. No, I'm kidding.
Do you need one?
I do, actually.
Yeah, let's,
I'm almost out. Part 2. 2.
Do you have the stamina for one of my podcasts still? Because I know you like to do those little 45 minutes and out nonsense.
I was on Benadryl that night, Bradley.
Can't hang out.
I was on Benadryl. Benadryl and beer. That was... Listen, I'm lucky. The story about Austin driving by will always be one of my favorite fucking stories.
Isn't that funny,
ever.
though? Like, how many... I can't tell you how many awesome memories I have from the last 6 months that would not have happened.
New friendships.
New
I had
friendships.
no idea. I had no idea that the guy who would give me a hard time at the gas station, I didn't know he lived right there, and definitely
In a
would-
tent in your backyard.
Basically, yeah,
Who knew that?
essentially.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, there's these collateral friendships. Just
good word.
seeing all of the stuff that I say the word spider web a lot because that's what it is. It's just like one thing will happen and so many things will just break off because of that. And it's just overwhelming sometimes.
Do you want to be famous?
Do I want to be famous? No. I want to be known.
Known?
Mm-hmm.
Difference being...
I think in order to be famous, you have to do something to be famous. To be known, you're just fucking known. I want people to know who I am as the person that, lost it all, and came back and said, I'm not fucking done. I wasn't done.
Let me give you just...
Do you think being famous and being known are synonymous?
Well, there's levels to it, There's levels, local levels, high levels. I get what you're saying. Being known, but not really celebrity, maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to be
Level.
celebrated.
Do you think you could even handle it? Do you think you could handle, 30 million views? If you ever... Let's just say you end up hitting it big in the podcast thing, and you are worldwide famous. Do you think you would cope with it well?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody would be able to answer. That's like transplanting me from one world to another and saying, do you think you'd be okay? I have no idea. I did not handle just a very, very small, minute amount of fame very well.
That's why I'm asking.
But
yeah,
I learned a lesson from that.
right.
And my lesson was it can go away just as quickly as it came again.
That's why I don't have a hard time believing that powerful people do evil shit. Because I can imagine having a lot of power.
Yeah.
I'm not saying doing evil shit, but just doing whatever I wanted to do.
Manipulative.
It's
I mean, and that's not a bad word, but if
is
you...
it legal? Call the judge. He'll
Ish.
figure it out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that kind of power?
Yeah.
And then these people get used to it.
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, we're going to cover up a murder now. Once you do that, right?
Who are we hiding?
I don't know if I want to say on a pod.
Okay,
We'll have
cut
to
it.
talk about this.
Off the record.
Yeah, we'll
So
talk
many
about
things
it
off the
afterward.
record. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, what about you? What about if you hit it big? If people are like, oh my God, Brad Durham, oh my God, Brad Durham. What
I've
about
always
you?
been afraid of this, and I always sabotage it before it happens. Because I think I'd be dead in 2 weeks.
What do you mean?
I think I'd be like, heroin? Give me the jumbo
I'm a
needle.
Crystal Methodist.
You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
I'd be like, first time.
Really?
No, I think I'd be dead. I just can't handle new things. I go nuts. Yeah.
So why are you doing this? What is
I'm
your...
doing it for legitimate reasons right now. Like, I want to capture conversations. I want to...
Stop. He's like a jackrabbit. Boom, 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 boom.
You let him in here.
You said it was okay. I tried to tell him.
Well, the other option was me physically removing him, and he'll yelp because
Sorry.
he's got bad joints. But
But your
put a sign out there.
your end goal is still just remains the same?
I want to be known.
But not famous.
Not famous, no.
But no.
It'd be nice
for
to just have
do.
a community that you build with. I don't want a bunch of randos. You know, that's
Right.
my fear of like getting on TikTok and stuff, because then you're just getting people watching.
It's
you
just a view
because of. So, you know, I'd rather grow it organically, where people know who you are and what you do.
That's why I'm avoiding TikTok.
Right.
For that
Whereas if
exact
somebody
reason.
came into the wrong episode that I'm doing and was just like, "Oh, that guy's a toxic asshole."
Yeah.
That I give you opportunities to say that.
Right.
On some of these podcasts, but you know, then you're missing a lot of really good shit. You know, when you peg somebody for something short, taken out of context, I'd rather build it up, slow, long form, to where you get a reputation, or you are known, at least at some level. But I would not want like people following you with cameras. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like people knowing your location, journalists, like that level of fame has always freaked me out. Like, I don't know how those people...
love that.
You would like that?
I would love that.
Well, you'd probably have the personality to be able to play with that. Yeah, I would...
I've also been paparazzi, so... You play around the whole playing field on that way. Yeah, I would love
I understand
that.
why actors take their own lives when they feel like they cannot go anywhere.
Yeah.
And not be them. Like, they can't go out of their house.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure that's something people learn over time, how to deal with, how to cope with. But, like, I just don't think I deal with that well. Like, you can't go out with your family, you know, to, like, a fucking Chuck E. Cheese or something. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you have to isolate your kids. You have to... I don't know. There's a freedom in anonymity. And I get why a lot of these big YouTube stars don't show their face. A lot of people. Or radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think fame would be bad. I would... Fucking people are shooting at Trump. Like, you know what I mean? Like...
I'm prepared for it at this point.
If you got assassinated, how would you want it to go?
Guillotine.
Really? They
Guillotine.
bag you up,
Guillotine.
take you to a prearranged guillotine. Is it public?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, so it's a big charade.
Yeah, because I would don't like choke me or anything. I would want to be able to say tell people what I need to tell them before.
So
I
your
would want-
perfect assassination is where you get to give a speech.
Yeah.
Before you get killed. Clip that. That's a clip.
Yeah, I would definitely want a guillotine. And there was one quote from my guy, and I can't remember who it was. He asked the guillotinist, I don't know if that's a word, the person who released the hound.
The executioner.
Do you think, if but for a brief moment, that I will be able to see myself once my head falls? See.
Yeah.
He wanted to see.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
I think I would not want to see that. But yeah, I think a guillotine would be a clean way to go. It's just, and that would be the thud heard around the world.
All right.
What about you?
I mean, I didn't know we could give speeches and shit. I was just thinking about like ways
Queen's speech.
I was thinking about ways it could actually happen. But if you're talking about how you'd want it to happen,
Oh, actually happening. I thought you were talking about my
no, you already
dream
changed the rule.
assassination.
You already changed the rule. I'd want a female assassin to fuck me to death. I think that's, if I get to choose, I don't need the speech. I just want to be fucked to death by a hot assassin lady. You want to give answers?
Sugar fucker, what? I'm gonna change my answer. I had microphone makeup on today, not camera makeup on. Oh my god, you want to be fucked to death by a female. Oh my god, and here I am like, guillotine!
But you got a speech out of it. Okay, realistic way
I'd
it
rather be
could happen.
fucked.
You don't get to choose. You're not God of this thing. It just, somebody has chosen to kill you. How would you hope they would do it?
Poison. Then I just think I'm sick.
Yeah?
And then I just go to sleep and don't wake up.
I'd want to get like a sniper shot in the back of the head.
Why am I thinking of the worst ways?
Yeah, like poison sounds like a bad way to go. Probably tastes nasty. You have gastrointestinal
Poison.
rupturing for 6 hours.
I've been watching way too much The Crown.
What is this Crown?
The Crown?
Yeah.
British royalty, the British monarchy. Oh my gosh.
But it's a fictional show?
The Crown is...
Like, is it a...
It's like based on like the Queen.
But it's
woman.
not a documentary. It's like a...
It's an embellished. It's definitely not a documentary.
Loosely based on, but fiction.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like they touch on things that like the Queen might have actually had an affair. They kind of dig into a little bit of that on The Crown. And Prince Philip's affair and stuff like that.
And this is... What is this network is this on?
Netflix.
And it's new?
No.
Or it's been on
It's
a while?
it's been over.
It's over?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's wrapped. So I think the last...
Since when?
Last year.
Oh, but it is fairly recent.
Yeah, I would say it's
Okay.
probably 6 years.
So I hear people talk about it all the time, but I never know.
I think-
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. You might like it. Just because it's like a time.
Yeah.
piece.
Possibly.
But see, I love like British royalty and like the whole
Yeah.
curtsying and all of that stuff. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. If I could go over there and like practice being a royal, I would.
It would. My movie favorites would probably really surprise you. I'm a huge fucking nerd.
I
What are you
lost the
looking
lid
for?
again.
Don't worry about it. It'll show up.
Okay. Anyway, what are your movie favorites?
I gotta have a dragon or a spaceship on almost everything I read or watch.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I just have to have like blood and gore and guts. And I'm not
Yeah?
into the spaceship stuff. I'm like Faces of Death. Do you remember watching those?
No, I've never seen them. I'm aware of them.
Oh,
That was a little
loved
hard.
Faces
Yeah,
of Death.
little
See, I
too,
love the
hardcore for
gore.
me.
I love the gore.
You like Tarantino?
Yeah, I've just never really like delved too much into his stuff.
See, I love his shit. He is enough of a surrealist. So I don't like really heavy shit because like life's heavy enough, and I don't like watching like real serious dramas or action movies.
That's when
It just-
your life becomes good. If you watch people
Yeah,
getting
it
off,
makes
then
me-
you're like, oh,
See, I go
life's
the opposite.
not
I'm
horrible.
like, God, world is shit out there. Which I guess you could look at that glass half full. I'm not in that shit.
Yeah.
But no, I like it enough of an element of sci-fi or fantasy to where it's like, okay, this isn't real. This isn't in my reality. No matter how fucked up it gets, we're not that bad. I don't know. It's a degree of separation for me. And then my grandma was all into that shit, and she was the coolest person I knew. So that was a bonding.
See, I've never watched any. I've never seen a Star Wars movie ever,
Well, don't start now.
or a Star
That
Trek. I've
franchise
never
is
watched
dead.
a Star
That's
Trek.
sad to
show.
me that you haven't seen an episode of Star Trek.
I was like a Gilligan's Island kind of a girl, not Star Trek.
Yeah.
Brady Bunch. I'm that. The sci-fi stuff. I like my stuff to be wrapped up in 30 minutes or less, not ongoing like Star Trek.
You like quick.
Yeah.
All right. I had this conversation with Tresha last week. I made a Seinfeld reference.
Mm-hmm.
She made a Friends reference and asked if I'd watch Friends, and I said straight men don't watch Friends.
Okay.
Now there's some debate.
As to whether you're straight.
No, I don't think that's a
Oh.
debate. Do straight men watch Friends?
Archie's watched it. I'm
Why?
never questioned.
By
And it wasn't
himself or
with
because he
me.
was watching it with you?
Well, no, it's not been with me because I'd be like, "Have you seen this episode of Friends?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I think I remember that one." So I know he's seen enough to know references, but he's never watched them with me.
But has he watched them alone, or are those references where he was watching it with a group of people
Yeah, I don't know.
earlier in life?
Now his brother watches Charmed daily.
I'm not familiar with Charmed.
Oh, sorry.
Is it equally as...
It's like a girly show, but
So Friends is a girly show.
Not as girly as Charm, but Friends I would say would be 75-25. 75% female, 25% male watch.
Would you find it amusing if Hulk Hogan, say, watched that show?
I don't think I would. I mean, I would just be like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I wouldn't make fun of him.
No, I'm not saying you'd make fun. But would it surprise you? Probably surprise you.
No,
not at all.
Friends is like really mainstream, and for like,
maybe it's my hatred of mainstream first.
Yeah.
Above all else, like I wouldn't watch Seinfeld when it was on. I was like, if people like it, it's got to suck. That used to be my mentality, and then you find a lot of good bands that way, and movies. You know, you gravitate toward the stuff that's not, like Marvel, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
That got out of hand. It's really trash, those movies. Like, you're not thinking about a Marvel movie a week later, right? Like you are like a Tarantino or Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
Where, like, when Inception came out, I'm like, bro, you haven't seen it?
Mm-mm.
Nicole. I don't want to have domestic abuse on the podcast. So
we're just going to have a whole podcast of just me watching these shows, being like, what? Oh, my God.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
We were talking about Inception.
Yeah, but the overall narrative, I started rambling. I was talking about something. Put it in the chat. Remind me.
Oh, Friends.
Yes,
Friends.
Yeah, Friends. Like, I don't see just some dude like, man, that was a hard day at work today. Working in a factory. Let's get a couple of cold brews. You want to watch Friends, bro?
I think that's exactly the show. What is another show?
Oh, I know the point I was going to say. Seinfeld was on, and I was like, not going to watch it because it's popular.
Right.
And so then, several years after it's off the air, somebody's watching it, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty fucking good. Just happened to catch it.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
So I went back and watched Seinfeld, and I love it. And I love Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is Larry David. He's still doing that. But I lived with Danny Darling, and we watched Friends because he was a Friends fan. And I watched a couple of seasons of it, and I was like, I kind of feel uncomfortable watching this with another man.
I can see that.
Or at all. With anyone.
I can see that.
I thought it was a romantic comedy show.
I can see that.
Yeah.
See, I was like, I fall in love with shows well after their prime, like Breaking Bad.
Well, I was going to ask you about Breaking Bad. When did you get on that wagon? Because I didn't get on it until after it already, like
15.
Well, when did it stop airing, though?
It was long before then.
Okay, so it was already off air when you got into it.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Like Better Call Saul was already on when I started watching.
Okay, Breaking Bad was first, and then Better Call Saul.
Well, I know, but I'm watching Breaking Bad, like.
And then I went ape shit over that show, and we travel out there to meet the actors and everything. But see, I love that. I love doing that. Like, if I find a show that I love, I'll put myself into the show, and not as much as I did Breaking Bad or anything.
Do you think you could,
like, going to like movie locations? I love going to like movie locations. And
could you do what Walter White did? If you were really good at making meth, and you had a chance to go back into that world of criminal behavior, and you were that good, would you do it? Would you be the new Walter White?
Yeah.
Nicole White?
Well, I'm back into the world of broadcasting after fucking it up.
So anything's possible.
Anything is possible. But you give me a recipe and I can provide a cook.
The show almost became hard to watch toward the end, though, because Walter White became irredeemable.
Yeah.
Good storytelling, good writing. It's like the opposite of a character arc, right? It's like a backward character arc. He starts off as this well-meaning dad who's got, issues at home, whatever. He's got cancer, right? And then you see him regress into an absolute monster. with no morals, no care for anyone. It was kind of hard to watch that last season.
I can see that.
What else? It's not the only show like that, but I have trouble watching that kind of stuff. Because again, it's too. You let them in. See, this will teach people. Don't let that fucking
His asshole's
right up against you.
If he shits, I'm
Are there
done
holes
for.
on that side of your jeans?
There are
'Cause
there
there's-
are holes in my jeans.
I mean,
Your dog just backs it right up ass up to anybody, doesn't he?
he doesn't. He's an old man who doesn't give a fuck anymore.
He's like, oh, somebody's touching my butt.
He's like, what are y'all gonna do? Kill me?
This poor guy.
I know. You know what's
He needs
sad?
a CPAP.
I've thought about taking him out, but
Oh, no. God, no. Gosh, no.
I meant for a walk. What are you talking about? You thought I didn't say put him down.
You're a dick. You're a dick. You knew what you were doing. I was like, no, you could never. And then I couldn't believe you would say that on your show.
I would never say something like that.
Oh, he's a sweet boy.
So we're watching Hemmett's last minutes here, people. If
We are
you're
not
tuning
watching
in,
him. I'm going to make him a doggy sweater.
we're gonna count down from 60 seconds. If he doesn't do it on his own, Nicole's gonna help him along.
I'm going to take him out.
With a gentle throat squeeze.
It's okay, Emmett. He's just farting. Ooh.
Don't fucking touch me, bitch. He is a.
Did you see that look he gave me?
I live with that. I live with that fucking animal. That's why
Oh
I'm
my
ready for him
God.
to pass into the next hallway, if you know what I mean.
Poor him. I won't invite you in next time, him. I'm sorry.
He's become grouchy, close proximity, liking lurking. You know, I just don't like it when people come up and just stare in my face. Right? It makes me real uneasy, and he'll just get up on you and just look at you. And that's an elderly thing. He didn't used to do that.
He just can't see.
Yeah, I don't know if he never knows where he is. He's a danger to himself and to others.
I don't think he cares where he's at. My two old men, my two old doggies, they're getting pretty old too. One was born in 2011 and the other one was born in 2012.
Which dogs?
Scrappy and Scooby. You know I have 3 dogs, right?
Where are the other 2? I only know about your baby, little precious
I have 3
bluey
dogs.
princess.
We have 3
I don't even think
dogs.
I've ever seen your other dogs.
They just kind of live in our bedroom. They have a TV in there. Scrappy Doo and Scooby Doo. A Griffin Chihuahua and a Chai Pom.
That's how the cocaine gets all over the
That's
floor.
definitely how the cocaine gets.
Okay, I was always wondering, it's like, they can't be that sloppy.
No, we have 3 dogs. Only one of them is out in public, though.
How is Bluey doing? The dog you stole from your son.
Didn't steal. He forfeited her. He couldn't be kind to her, so
Really?
yeah.
That
He
surprises
still gets
me.
her in a headlock.
Why is he doing that?
He's just so.
Just.
He's just rough. He's
Yeah.
very rough, and she looks like a big dog, but she's still just a little puppy.
It's that floofy hair.
She wants so badly to be his dog. I can tell it. She wants to be his dog so
Really?
bad. She'll jump on his bed and he'll push her off. Oh, you knocked my Legos over or whatever like that. But she really wants to be his dog. I think she's settling to be my dog right now, and I've taken her in. But
She looks happy.
the door is not closed
Okay.
on him maybe being a little more responsible.
And Archie's healthy.
Archie is healthy. No more heart attacks.
That's
He's
good.
had, let's see, he was in the hospital 3 times. 2 of those were heart attacks. So the third one was just AFib. So he may get a pacemaker put in January. We don't know.
What's that dependent on?
If they say he needs it,
If they were to prescribe diet and exercise,
which they did,
would he do either one?
which he is not.
Okay. I wanted to ask him that, but
which you should,
I
which
will.
everybody watching now needs to tell my husband. He needs
Archie.
to exercise, which means not just going to therapy. My mom's like, "Are you getting exercise?" He's like, "Oh yeah, every day." And before I must have been having a truthful day, because right in the middle, whenever he said every day, I said, "When?" Because I tried to get him to go on a walk with me, to walk that dog. Oh, one of my favorite excuses. I'm too high.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't line up well with getting healthy, buddy.
So yeah, everybody
gotta
tell
confer
him
with
he needs to. He's doing okay on his diet. Me, on the other hand, I'm having a bad time having to sneak junk food in the house now. To not like parade it in front of him.
So you're not like one that's like, hey, you got to eat like this, so I'm gonna join you.
Why the fuck would I do that?
You're gonna do it anyway.
I ate cheesecake in the bathtub last night. I snuck cheesecake in my purse, and then
I think there was a Playboy pay-per-view where that starts out with a cheesecake in a hot tub. Yeah.
I took the cheesecake out of my purse and I shoved it down my pants to the side.
That just turns it into Famunda cheese.
Shut up. And so that way, whenever I turned, he wouldn't see me whenever I was going to take my bath.
Man.
But yeah, I snuck cheesecake and ate it in the bathtub while I was taking a bath last night. I could be supportive and try to eat healthier. I'm not the one who had the fucking heart attack.
But you could.
I'm not the one who had the fucking heart attack.
I'm just saying it doesn't hurt any of us to be a little healthier. I'm lucky Archie got a warning. Some people just die.
I know.
So this is like a second chance.
Right. Well, they don't call them widower makers. They just call them widow makers. So he's safe. He had the widow maker heart attack. 12% survival rate.
That's low.
It's very low. It was, still, it's becoming more okay, and I'm able to talk about it a lot easier now than I was, say, even 3 weeks ago, because I wasn't even able to say heart attack 3 weeks ago in conversation. But, going through the stuff with Aaron in school and everything, and meeting with his teachers, and he has briefly touched on it with his teachers. My dad had a heart attack, so they ask, how's your husband? And so it's just been in the past couple of weeks where I've been able to even say the word heart attack.
Yeah, I know you haven't been able to talk about it before, so.
No. I'm in the correct reality, because I think I talked to you before about how, it was so traumatic for me. I can't even imagine what it was like for him, but it was so traumatic for me that I questioned reality for a full 6 weeks after it all happened, and there's still times, and it comes at the weirdest spots. Driving to get a Diet Coke or doing something, it would be like, oh my God, and then I lose my breath, and I have that thought again. Did it happen? Is he still here? Did he pass away? But they're a lot less than they used to be. That was a constant reality I lived in for a freaking month, and now it's like only once every other day do I have that feeling. So.
Do you think there's a timeline split in moments like that, where maybe it did happen and one version of Nicole is in that reality?
If there is, that would make a whole lot more sense than not knowing.
Like, what if some of us it's almost like a tournament, right? Like, every time you die, one of you gets in the living.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Kind of like Lost. That TV show Lost. What? Do you not like that show either?
Nicole, they strung me along for, 8 seasons? Yeah, I watched that fucking show. And frankly, it's too soon for me to talk about it, because I'm still salty about it.
PTSD about that. Just to find out they're all dead.
They're all fucking dead.
They're all fucking dead.
You lazy motherfuckers.
You know, it's so funny. I remember Archie and I were watching. That's another one of the shows that we started watching after it was already done and over with. And so we get to the last season and things kind of start getting confusing. And I'm laying over there, and this would have had to have been in 2012, 2013. And I just Google. We're maybe 5 episodes from the end, and I Google, how did Lost end?
No.
I did.
Why?
Because I'm stupid, Brad. And it was like, and I go, oh my God. And he goes, what? And I said, I just Googled the ending of Lost. And I didn't tell him. I didn't ruin it for him, but I damn sure ruined it for myself.
Well, I know damn well you didn't watch Game of Thrones despite
not.
calling season 3 Game of Microphones.
I did not watch Game of Thrones yet.
That still rubs me the wrong way that you did that. So deceitful.
I liked the throne. I'm sorry.
It was misleading.
It's not misleading.
It's the only reason I talked to you that day.
It's not the only reason you talked to me
field.
at all. Season 2 hadn't even been released yet. 2
years before that. I jumped the gun on that one. I should have thought that one through.
Oh my God! I made those little gift bags for Aaron's soccer team.
I know you're such a soccer mom.
The
goth soccer mom.
The goth. And so we had to deliver our very last gift bag to one of the little boys that wasn't able to play at the last game. We gave that to him today, and his mom was like, oh my God, you do these bags? And Archie's like, yeah, and she has a podcast too. Give me a business card, baby. And so I'm like,
don't be advertising to those kids.
It was to his mom.
Oh. Okay.
Not the kid.
I thought you were giving the kid a business card.
No.
Let's keep the kids away from all of this, Nicole.
I can't. Everybody needs a dose of this.
Do they?
Yeah. I'm proud of you for coming back after your experiment. You had a weekend, you had a full weekend of breathing time, and he came back rest and ready to go. Season 2, here we go.
That's how it goes, bitches. You take a fucking weekend off and you start the new season.
And which is so funny because Archie had actually said that whenever that whole thing was happening and everything. He goes, oh, give him the weekend, he'll be back. And literally,
really?
He's give him the weekend, he'll be back. And got the weekend, and you were back with your experiment.
Well, I can't do. You talking about taking 6 weeks off? If I took 6 weeks off of anything, I won't do it again. Like 6 weeks into COVID, I stopped showering. I haven't showered in 4 years.
Yeah, I can tell.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can smell you.
It wasn't the dog.
It was definitely not the dog.
But when I get out of something, it's like kicking and screaming going back into it.
It's crazy because I've taken this time off between season 3 and season 4, and I've done stuff behind the scenes. I'm not going to say I haven't done anything for the show. We've been working on sales and affiliate links and stuff like that. But as far as actually doing something, I haven't really. I was supposed to have my friend Chris on for today's interview. He's rescheduled till Thursday, but I was like, oh my God, that's the first time I would have cracked the mic at all since I closed it down for season 3. I haven't been back behind the mic.
Is this the first mic?
This is the first mic that I've been behind since I closed out season 3. Yeah.
Nice little warm up.
I know. That's why I keep kicking it. I'm out of my.
Well, it's not situated where you want it.
No, it's not. I am ready to go. I can't wait for season 4. This 3 seasons has brought people to my life that I didn't know that I needed in my life.
What's the strangest relationship you have because of the podcast? Nothing
I
comes to
don't
mind.
think any of them are. I mean, they're all fun.
You don't get much stranger than Jason Green, though.
No, that's gonna be a fun show.
The guy's a human rainbow.
I love that.
He is he's a fruity gentleman. I love him to death. He's one of my closest friends.
He's one of your closest friends.
I'm unashamed to say.
I can't think of any. I can't think of any friendship or any relationship that I have that is strange. It's just like they all fit
They
somewhere
just
in my
exist
life.
somewhere.
What about
Yeah,
yours?
no, I get that.
I'm glad it
I thought
didn't
it was
come
a
out the
death
other
sneeze.
end.
Yeah, I mean, this is reality.
I would say the weird connection that has been made recently between my next door neighbor. I think that is probably the oddest connection out of all of this to happen.
I don't know about the weirdest. The coolest thing is like Matt Mahan did an episode recently, did very well, and he was going to come on. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. His son was on our football team, and I saw him, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come on the pod?" I thought we were just going to talk, hang out. He's got 3 boys, I got 3 boys, and the night before, he's like, "Hey, can we talk about? I want to talk about my fall into alcohol abuse and recovery and all that. Do you care if we talk about that on the podcast?" I was like, "No, let's do that." And we did. And he talked about that story. And Hal hooked up with him,
A lot of people were touched. Because
other
of
people
that
were
show.
reaching out to Matt, and I get, I understand where he's coming from. And so stuff like that is
The
wildly
payday
rewarding.
You didn't know that you needed, yeah.
Yeah, and now him and I are, chatting back and forth, texting, checking on each other, just having people you can reach out to and where you can just touch people's lives briefly, just having somebody, just dots on the map.
Yeah,
It's putting dots on the map, all these relationships.
yeah.
People in the same general frequency,
Hmm.
because those are the people you're going to have on. Like, I'm not going to try and have somebody on who's, like, combative. Like, I'm not interested in doing that.
Right.
I want to have people on that are going to get along. Even if they might not seem like they would at first. Like,
You can
Shauna and I were a
discuss,
great
yeah.
example, I love talking to Shauna. I'm looking forward to having her on. If she could get the migraine thing under control.
She will not have a
mean,
migraine. I will make sure that migraine
We'll
gets
see.
pounded out of her. And she has a warm lap for Amanda.
Wow, that was
We'll have to have Amanda over here that night.
highly unnecessary. You
What?
can if you want. She's coming on the pod.
Amanda?
Yeah.
What?
I almost sent you. I'll tell you right now, yeah.
Amanda Alba?
Yeah. It's on my phone. I busted my phone yesterday, but I was going to send you a picture of the calendar.
My
Intrigue.
God, you're poaching more people.
I'm stealing every fucking person you got.
I haven't even had her on my show
Oh,
yet.
I know. December 3rd. We're going to talk about Harry Potter for 2 hours.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, then you don't belong here.
Do you want to know where I do belong?
If you say something about her sitting on your lap,
No,
we're
it has
done.
nothing to do with that. Taylor Swift. Do you know where Brittany went over the past weekend? She went to a Taylor Swift concert.
Wait. You're Brittany.
My Brittany.
Oh, I think you're talking about Britney Spears.
No, my Brittany went to a Taylor Swift concert. She went to New Orleans.
Was Travis Kelce eating the buffet
No,
by any chance? Because he
No.
put on about 20 pounds since last year.
she's put on a little bit too, but they look cute and in love together. I know that you are not a fan.
And I don't fucking have to be. And I'm tired of this fucking shaming of people who don't. Dude, I've hated the Chiefs since 1983
I
when
don't
I was
care about
2
the
years
Chiefs.
old.
I'm just talking about that girl. She's
Which girl? Taylor Swift? I
Yes.
have no opinion of Taylor Swift other than the fact that Israeli intelligence had them hooked up together and that it is a psyop on the part of the NFL to tear down the patriarchy. Okay? I bet I can.
fuck the patriarchy.
You've already fucked us.
That was a Taylor
And now
Swift
we're not going to
line
fix
from a
your
song.
fucking broken toilets anymore.
I'm telling you.
Society's going to collapse in the next week anyway, so we might as well Enjoy
We
some
have a
brews.
week left. What do you really think is going to happen? And I obviously want the truth.
What I really think is going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I think Donald Trump wins in a Reagan-esque epic landslide, possibly the popular vote, possibly flips some big states like New York, and they certify it, and then he gets shot. They take him out, and J.D. Vance ends up going in.
Think that's what's going to happen?
I think that's what's really going to happen. Which is bleak, but they've tried twice. If you ever watch these TV shows and they fail an assassination attempt, they don't just say, all right, call it off. They go to plan B, go to plan C, right? Like, you get him before, after, it doesn't matter. You get him before he's effective. You got until January, right? So I think he'll win. That way, there's no question, there's no interference in anything. There's no questions on the government looking at the elections. It's all on the up and up, and then boom, he gets tagged. Whether they blame it on or it gets pointed at Iran, which is where they'll point it at, because that's ultimately where Israel's enemies are coming from. I think they assassinate Trump, blame it on Iran, and we're in World War III.
I do not think Kamala Harris is going to win.
She can't. She just can't. The internet doesn't lie and it doesn't lose. And I mean, you look at the numbers Trump's getting, and the ratios, like the YouTube ratios on Trump's, like getting more support than he's ever gotten in 2016 or 2020, and Kamala's getting ratioed on all these like downvotes. Like that's awful. And I kind of feel bad about the Rogan thing, because Rogan invited them both on after basically saying he wasn't going to have any of them on. Then he had RFK on, and everybody's like, oh, we'll have RFK. But his quote before was, I don't want to help sway people's minds about an election. And I get that. You're an influential person. But if you invite both of them on, then you eliminate that qualification. So he extended invites to both. Trump did it. They did it Friday, and it dropped Friday night. 3 hours. One of the most eye-opening things I've ever seen, especially talking about New York, building in New York, and how to get the permits and how the permits are decided and that kind of stuff. Oh, fascinating. But the Kamala campaign wouldn't do it. Like, Joe had to go to them. They would only do an hour. They wanted to see the questions. It's like, just on that alone, like, why is this person so protected? Why can't they just sit down and have a conversation for an hour? That's more telling than anything, because she can't speak in public. I mean, it's awful. Like, you can't have people voting for that. Whatever. I'm not going to get on a soapbox, but I am fearful.
You're fearful for what happens after the election,
Yes.
but before inauguration.
I got a 14-year-old son. I don't want war. And I don't think we need it. I think there's enough to go around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If greed was not part of the problem. And, man, I think there are parties embedded in our government that want us to be at war.
Find out in a week.
Find out
how it starts.
something. We'll find out how. Well, it started. We've been on a 9-year ride. I mean,
Yeah.
really, Obama was probably the last president of what we'll call the old era, of that kind of bullshit politician guy that,
Yeah.
Hillary obviously lost to Trump, who was a wild card. 2020 was a wild fucking year. The country's in a pandemic. And this is the first election since that. And it's being decided by fucking comedian podcasters.
That's the truth.
How cool is that for us, though?
I mean, that's awesome. And a
You
pop
know, like-
star. Yeah.
like the credibility is going to the podcast.
Yeah.
Because people can have 2 hours of unedited
And
conversation.
it's not governed by the
And it's
FCC.
not
That's
governed
something
by
that I
shit.
was trying to tell the people in the Small Business Collaborative is if you can get in right now, you're not governed by the FCC.
Yeah, but as a business, do you have to have all these legal fucking... I
Not
wonder.
as a small business.
No,
No.
maybe as a corporation.
As a small business.
Keep it small.
What you want said, you say. You know, if you find somebody with a microphone that will allow you to say it, say what you want said.
You think any ladies ever said that, though? Keep it small?
No. Mm-mm. Not that I
So
can-
it's a lie. Like when women say it's not about the size, that's
It's
a
a-
lie.
definitely about the size.
It's all about the size.
all about the size
Okay.
and the girth. We
All right.
talked about girth on season 2, I believe. My
If
show.
I heard it, I probably blocked that out of my memory.
Hopefully you
Yeah,
did. Yes.
I don't need to hear
So
that.
now the same thing for guys, not same thing for guys, but
Yeah, it'd be like the equivalent of like you don't want a gaping hole,
no,
like a coffee can.
no, you don't want to not. Okay.
That'd be like the equivalent of a small
Hot
penis,
dog
right?
and hallway.
Hot dog and hallway.
Awesome.
You want a compact, tight little. It's getting awkward.
It's getting really awkward. It's getting gross. It's so
Like a baseball
gross.
with a hole drilled in it. I don't know. I'm trying to get out of this. Save me.
That's what she
Save
said.
me.
I can't do that. I cannot save you.
Fellow
from this.
podcaster.
Yeah.
Nose rings tomorrow. I'm getting them.
What?
Yeah, fucking not gonna do that.
I have my septum tucked up here. It's cold and flu season, so I found out last year you want to.
Thank God you're not rubbing that septum ring in front of me. I think I'd just leap out of my skin.
I can pull it out.
I don't need to see.
Are you sure? There's nothing else I can get done on my nose. I can't get any more holes in my nose.
What about a bone? Have you thought about doing the bone right through the middle? Like.
I don't think I want to do that.
No.
I just don't.
No, that's probably.
No. I can't get any piercings on my tongue or my lips because of the microphone stuff.
God damn.
I can't get any more piercings on my ears done because of the headphones.
Oh, and you can't just roll down the river from that ringtone. What the hell was that?
Whose phone is ringing? Mine, mine. Whose phone is ringing? It's mine, it's mine.
All right. That was wild.
Anyway, so I can't get anything else pierced, so I'm just gonna have to keep getting stuff tattooed.
About right here. Your little chain link going down. You see the Hellraiser
I have a
movies?
necklace, but
I don't
no.
need to. Let's not. What are we doing here?
I said I have a necklace, but
Oh.
there's nothing. So I think I counted.
I thought you were
have-
about to.
God no!
Hold
My
on, man.
God!
Hold
No,
on now.
No, I'm too old for that.
Family show.
Definitely, you're like a brother. Your dog would shit on me, and I would vomit all over your dog at that point.
This will be the last episode of them together. I guarantee it.
We can't have the dog come in anymore. It's farted on me twice that I know of, and a third time that's questionable.
When you live with boys, every rumble makes you.
It's horrible.
Any
Yes,
move.
it's like that was
Am I gonna have
definitely
to
not
deal
the
with the
couch.
consequences of this?
Oh, was
soon?
that the couch? No, it wasn't the couch. It was you, and you farted, Cletus. You know it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, you're old, and you gotta probably be getting to bed.
It's 7:07,
Well, I just,
and I'm 2 beers in.
I
It
never
feels
know
like
with
9:07. No,
okay.
I have not had any Benadryl.
No Benadryl
No
tonight.
Benadryl. No Benadryl. I made a shirt for let's see. There's a woman that works at the Come and Go, the gas station. You know how I love to go to Come and Go.
I know you love to come and go. I've heard that about you.
That's what they used to call me. But she's always messing up something whenever I'm in there. She's always messing up something. And so I have a shirt that I made, and I'm gonna what? So my shirt
I believe
says,
that this person is fucking up everything they touch. I think I know who you're talking about.
It says, "Get it together, Carolyn. Good God." Because I'm always telling her to get it together. I'm like, "Get it together, Carolyn." And so you were talking about making the passive aggressive shirts. I have made a shirt specifically for my woman at Come and Go.
Are you trying to get her to end herself?
Didn't think about that, but no.
Oh.
I was just thinking hopefully she would like become a catchphrase. Like, "Get it together, Carolyn. Good God."
I mean, pointing out that somebody is an imbecile seems dangerous to me. Especially...
Especially what?
Just at all.
Shit again. Suck a dick.
I don't think you have people that challenge your ideas sometimes. I think you're going to kill this woman.
I'm not gonna kill her. She's a sweetheart. She would never off herself. Do you know her? Do you know her?
No.
Is she mental?
No. But she has your home address.
Is she what? She what?
You know, that's my... I'm joking. That's my biggest fear. I had a dream about that the other night.
That somebody would have your home address?
Yes, like that's like my fear now.
Everything is on Google.
I know, but like, it's kind of like the weird consequences.
I can look up property records for anybody around here. And you
I
find out
know.
what they drive.
I know, but it's like once people know where you live, it's a vulnerability.
The house has been in my house since 1977.
Burn it down and move to Montana.
I'm
Get the fuck out of
there. They say, "What's your permanent address?" It's fucking that one. I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
Can you smell the sewer breakage at Erie's place?
I did. I told you that I think I had said, I was like, man, I kept thinking the dog had shit in my studio.
Oh, yeah, that's
I was
actually...
like, did Bluey shit in this room? And I kept thinking
Yeah,
it's because
yeah.
that house was right over there, the closest to where it was on a warm day. And so, yeah, well, we definitely get smells of wafting.
Man. And there's nothing you could do about that.
I mean, I'm sure that there's like legal things we could have done, but that's not my deal. I mean,
No, you
it's
can't be doing that. He's in a...
that's not my. That's not.
shit-
He's in a shit show.
shit show.
That's not my. As a name, that's not like something I would be like, "Oh my God, I can get him in trouble" or anything like that. That's
People
like
do that shit.
That's like, God, I hope he gets that fixed quick. And so I would follow for like an update, and then whenever I saw maybe there, I would be like, okay, hey, he might be getting it fixed. The so and so is gonna be at his house tomorrow, you know, at this time, and we would look and be like, okay, they showed up. And so we kind of followed from afar, from a distance.
That's the interesting thing about living in a neighborhood. Is that people kind of... Everybody's watching the same shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, on and off everybody's properties. That's what freaks me out so much about neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Everybody knows
such a
everybody's
private
business, but
person.
nobody talks to other
Nobody
people.
talks to anybody.
But they know the business.
Right, so there's like intelligence agencies everywhere.
It's me. It's me. I'm the one that does. I'm the one that finds. I'm the one that on the court cases. Yeah, I know about everybody's court cases on that street.
What would you call that?
Nosy.
Nicktelligence?
Central
Nicktelligence
Nicktelligence.
Agency. CNA. Registered CNA.
We'll have to have a T-shirt.
No,
Central
there you go.
Intelligence Agency. Oh, how
It's so
fun.
domestic that you're at home making clothing. I love that about you.
I actually own and work in a sweatshop.
You are you are your own slave.
I am a slave to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice though because T-shirt orders and sweatshirt orders and stuff like that, picking up. It's like picked up in the downtime between season 3 and season 4, and it's just getting more. This dog better not. This dog better not.
Don't look
This dog
right.
better not.
Is that on?
Exit stage
That
left.
was
Is it
on-
over? Is it over? Okay.
Oh man, that was. I was staring at it in slow motion open up.
So now it's like, now that we're getting season 4 started, it's like, oh my gosh, it's really turning into a full-time gig, as it will, because I'll be making t-shirts, and I'm making probably 20, 25 items a week now. So keeping a steady inventory of black shirts and black hoodies.
Is that all you offer, or is that what everybody orders?
That's what I offer.
Okay.
What do you want? I have a black shirt and I have a black hoodie.
That's what you can have.
I have.
Well, that's
black.
part of branding, though.
That's the brand.
Yeah.
The brand colors are black, white, and red. So black hoodies, black t-shirts. Just.
I like it. It's very Misfits.
And if somebody wanted, like Crystal Bryant wanted a red hoodie. I mean, I still have it. It's on the hanger. I haven't started her project yet, and it's like 2 months. I just probably
So you do the projects you want to do.
I just couldn't get inspired on that project for her because, other than words, and I would have done the shirt. I'm fine doing the shirt, but I just don't think the collaboration quite came to fruition.
Wait, is it a MAGA shirt? You won't do a MAGA shirt?
I would do it, but
Oh, you pussy.
I'm not a pussy. She just wanted a shirt. She wanted a shirt with a woman on it, and I couldn't get an image of a woman, and she wanted it to say bleach, bad built, bleach, blonde, butch body. After that Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. She wanted it. And so...
Is that what that was from? I knew I'd heard that
And so
before.
she wanted that on a shirt, and I was like, well, I'm not for you. You just want the words on it. I mean, it's... So, it just kind of... So I have the hoodie, and I have the vinyl. I just don't have the
wherewithal.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a...
I will
like
make a MAGA shirt. I'll
thing.
make any hoodie
Here's
for
the thing,
anybody.
Though.
It doesn't
that's
matter
a bad
what.
decision t-shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's getting too with the times.
Yeah.
Like, that news is already downriver.
Right.
You know? Don't buy t-shirts
Don't immortalize
in the moment.
it on a hoodie.
Don't get a tattoo of a girl you meet in a pool hall the night after you meet her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
No.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a tattoo, make it say Trump MAGA 2024 with a bald eagle on your forehead, right? That's probably the best place to put it, would you say, Nicole? If you're really in.
Totally. Right. I mean, smack the
Right
fuck
in the
dab.
fucking-
Right there.
Right
yeah.
here. If you're committed
And
to the cause, brother.
just definitely
A
don't
Hulk
make
Hogan
a t-shirt.
ripping his shirt right on your forehead.
Definitely don't make a shirt. Anything that could be temporary, just thrown in a dog's kennel. Get a tattoo of a MAGA asshole.
We're in a clown world. Multiple different realities.
Which now I'm gonna like that edible's about to hit, and I'm gonna be thinking, oh my god, what if we do die and go off into? It's like,
And we're in this reality together for this moment in time.
yeah.
You know, but like, it really makes you think. Like, what if at any point you die for certain causes, there's a reality that goes on where you don't?
Yeah.
Right? Then you would have different memories, but it would affect everything about everyone else's reality. So the entire reality would split off.
Right.
Because everything ripples.
Well, see, this is so funny that we circle back to this after all that, because we were talking about me questioning my reality because of Archie's heart attack. This happened to me in 2011. Now, I don't know if I've ever told you. I've mentioned it on the show, but it might not be something that stuck. I had a stroke in 2011, which for a full, I think it was like a full week, I was convinced that I had died.
I don't think you've told me that.
I was convinced for a full week that I had passed away, and that I was like watching. I mean, it was this whole thing with alternate realities and what ifs is
You
not
spent a
new.
week like that?
Yeah.
I told you that story about Huff and Duster? Huff and Duster in a dorm room. Anyway, long story cut short right here. And I ascended from my body, looking down at it. No emotion whatsoever. And people are like hitting on me. I could see it, I could hear it. And they were talking about, do we call the police or whatever? And then all of a sudden you snap back in. Like, it was a wild experience.
Yeah, I had a seizure-induced stroke in the parking lot of a hotel in Tulsa. We're down there for Archie's family reunion, and I had it was a very hot day, and I am an epileptic, and so I had a seizure-induced stroke in the car, and where my body like froze, I couldn't move. But there were things that happened during we call it the episode. I've never done acid, but I would assume that might be things that would happen if one were to do that. My brain was tripping out on me pretty bad, and I was convinced at that point that I had died, and that my eternal hell was to live on the planet, seeing how my family was going on without me and seeing them eventually be happy without me, and that was like my eternal hell. It was crazy.
How long did this actually last?
The stroke,
Well, no, the period of time where you had that vision.
not very long, like a 30 minute long vision.
But you saw all of that?
I saw other things that I'm not going to talk about on a YouTube channel.
Wow.
I will say that, and I will describe
Subscribe to After Dark Podcast Couch.
I will describe it like I describe it to other people. I saw the entire book of Revelations play out in a Piggly Wiggly parking lot.
And that was what, some methamphetamine?
I was not on anything.
And
Nothing.
probably crushed up Mr. Pibb tablets.
Nothing.
Snorted.
No, just a neurological episode.
What was that like?
Surreal.
Do you remember any images?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Horseman? Did you see the Horseman?
I don't know what a horseman is.
The fucking Horseman of the Apocalypse.
No. I'm not going to tell anybody on microphone what I saw.
Okay.
It's horrible. And I've already had an edible and 2 beers, and so people would be like, so she's just so fucking high right now anyway. No, but I will tell people completely stoned and drinking water what I saw, but I can't describe it right now because nobody will believe it.
Well, I believe that.
Nobody will believe it.
Alright, so back to making t-shirts tomorrow at the sweatshop.
Yeah, the Urban Dictionary sweatshop.
Put your MAGA orders in now.
And I'll get to them in 2 months.
Election day. Hey, man, it's worth it to troll Nicole.
Troll
Nicole.
No, let's not do that. Let's
Order
not
a MAGA
do that.
shirt at Urban
I will
Dictionary
make a
Clothing.
MAGA shirt. I will make whatever shirt that I can, as long as the vision is there and I'm not just left out to dry on a
Don't leave her out to dry. Prepay.
black.
I didn't really think about the optics of me wearing a pumpkin shirt and being fat as fuck on camera and a t-shirt that's too small for me.
And toothless.
I just look at this. I look like a fat pumpkin here. Why didn't you tell me this like
I'm
an hour
sorry.
ago?
In my elderly age, I wasn't able to.
Can you
see
not
that.
see?
No. You look fine.
I did this to myself. Look at this.
Can't even read my shirt.
You don't look pregnant in the pumpkin shirt. You're in a hoodie.
I'm not in a hoodie.
Or whatever that
It's
is.
a t-shirt.
You gothic.
And I still look pregnant.
What do you... Do you know Max?
I'm not gothic.
Max wears trench coats to football games. Have I told you this story?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he likes wearing trench coats whenever he can. But we're about to go out on the field one day, and I was like, "It's a fucking school shooter."
You can't say that.
It was Max. But anyway, yeah, you make jokes, people.
Did you say it on school?
I thought it to myself. I didn't
Okay.
exclaim it like. I didn't alert the brass. I was just like, I just thought to myself, like, do I need to take action? I was like, oh, that's my son.
That's horrible.
Dressed
I
as
have to
fucking
see
Doc
this.
Holliday.
Goddamn
Football stadium.
I have to see this trench coat.
It's ridiculous.
It's football season.
But hey, dude, it's a sense of style. Even if we
I'm not
disagree,
knocking
as long
a
as you
sense of
have a
style.
sense of style.
I've waited.
Style's important.
I've waited 40 years to establish mine.
And you went with
I
this?
just went with this.
Oh my god.
Black
Of all the
is
choices
swimming
you had.
and poke holes in my face.
Yeah.
And wear 39 pieces of daily jewelry.
You belong in LA.
Do I really? I would not last in LA. I would get popped so quick. I'd be out my mouth
You think you'd get killed?
in a heartbeat. I'm surprised it hadn't happened in Farmington, Arkansas yet.
Well, actually, I have some intel I was willing to sell you.
Okay.
Sell
Love
you.
to know this.
I ain't giving this up for free.
Oh man, no. It's you had talked about earlier about
Your neighborhood's like a game of Clue.
that
Was
you're
it-
poaching.
Was it?
It
Was
might
it
be
Austin the mechanic with the wrench on Haberstram lawn? Was
it the shit show?
You know what I mean?
I do. Oh my
Or was
god.
it the podcasting bitch?
I had no idea.
With the
This-
candlestick.
Archie was like, can you imagine him next door going, oh my god, she has a podcast? And it's like a lot of people are like that when they realize, oh my god, that's her. Because I just kind of go do throughout my day, you know. People don't think that the big girl that's delivering their groceries is the podcaster, you know.
Well, what do you do? You can't announce it yourself.
I wear my logo everywhere.
You get asked about it though.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, because I tell.
Good.
Yeah.
You seem like a good spokesperson for your brand.
It's the last thing I got.
You don't have shame.
I do not have.
So when you eliminate that, you can do anything.
And if you eliminate shame, then you can make $1 on your name.
That's
so.
why I'm sticking with you, because you've eliminated the shame.
I have not.
So I can say,
Yeah, you could say.
Nicole has no shame.
She's none.
She talked me into it.
I did. What did I talk about? I don't know.
Just saying, it's an excuse I can use later.
I'm everybody's excuse. I am okay being an excuse.
So what are you excited about most for getting the pod started again? You gotta be a little excited.
I'm excited for the new sound.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got it figured out?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got the bones of it figured out. I just
Nice.
got to put it together. Once I get in there and get to it, it'll be 30 minutes and it's ready. You know, I've got everything ready. I just got to put it together. And Durham will still be the sound of Urban Dictionary, but season 4 we're going to be incorporating more music from. Like I said, I relate a lot to music, and periods in my life that have had music in them seem to do better. So there's going to be music introduced into the podcast, not just Durham. But
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
going to be like music from, a lot of it's going to be Breaking Bad music, soundtrack from Breaking Bad, because I like that
Well, hey,
song,
if you want to
but
move on from Durham,
I am never.
no hard feelings either.
Oh, and not until you kick me out.
No,
That song's gonna be the intro and the outro of every show
all
until
right. Well,
Carl says goodbye.
saying.
So
I know you like to change, so no hard feelings if you want to
Nope.
move on from it.
no, it's always
But
gonna
it
be
is
there.
an honor.
Yep.
That's one of those weird things. I think of that song so much differently now than I did 2 years ago.
It's branded.
I think of your voice now when that song
Aw,
comes on. Like it,
that's pretty cool.
well, it comes on it's on the playlist in the house, so like it comes on.
And you're
then-
like, oh, I'm not listening to the podcast. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of hearing it now.
Oh, you shouldn't be. You should not be.
That I don't know if I've ever told you the story of that song, but like that song did not exist the night before we went into the studio. So we've been rehearsing for several months to go into the studio, and we had this song called "Hearing the Stars," which was going to be track 11. It was like this kind of long, epic, kind of November Rain, kind of a long ballad build, but we just couldn't get it. So like the night before, I was like, we gotta figure something out. So I wrote that song, Stare, the night before we went into the studio to try and replace the song we had just cut. And so when we went into the studio, I was like, hey, let's get this one out of the way. This is new. So like as we set up our equipment, I taught them that song. We ran it. I think we rehearsed it once, and then we tracked it live. And it was like the second time we'd played that song.
Holy
Ever.
crap.
The version that's on that record. I mean, we went back and laid stuff over the top of it, but like by the time it was recorded, less than 24 hours after it was written.
Insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it was, people really like that song. I don't know. It's a cool song.
I whenever I was listening to the CD and sending the tracks that you had sent to me, just something about that song. I was like, I like that song.
It is branded now. Like I hear that tune, I know you're pumped coming on.
It's a good one. It's a good one to be branded with. You lent a lot of credence to my show just by giving it that unique sound. And
Yeah.
well, whatever.
You could have got that anywhere. You sell it, you do it.
We'll
It's
just
not
keep
easy.
doing what we do.
That's all you can do. I don't know how you just wonder how long can you keep it going. Do you wonder that?
I've wondered, like, do I see myself still doing Urban Dictionary in 10 years? It's kind of like
A year. Like,
in oh yeah.
do you?
Oh yeah. I see myself.
See, I haven't even
This
done
is
it a year.
this
I'm
is
still,
my 5-year plan. So 10 years is
but you've only been doing it, what, a year and a half?
yeah. So it's just
Because you're a
3.5
year ahead of
more
me, and
years.
I'm at
Yeah.
6. I'm only at 6 months.
So I just if I say I do it for 5 years, I just got 3.5 more years. I have so many more stories to tell,
That's good. See,
and life keeps happening, you know.
well, yeah, you can always go forward and back. If you're telling your story, if that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
you can always jump back, come to now.
That's the great thing about having it like it is, you know. There's not my show hasn't been laid out with my lifelines, you know. Season 1 wasn't my childhood. Season 2 wasn't
Right.
my so being able to, I have the freedom to do that, which keeps it fresh, I think. I just like doing what I do. I'm okay with this life right now.
How many people, though, do you think get to a point where they say, I'm okay? There's a lot of people who are just never okay.
I don't think creative people ever do.
I'm okay. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're talking about. You're talking about like ambition in life or like ambition in art? You know, because like in life, I feel like I'm good. Like I don't need a ton of money or whatever else. Like, if I can maintain what I have, I'm good.
Okay.
Financially. So I'm not really motivated other than by, like, creativity. Like, what can I do differently?
I'm motivated to make something to give to Aaron when he's 18. A business, you know, something that he doesn't have to yes sir, no sir on a daily basis.
You want to be able to monetize it and make it
Oh yeah.
a revenue stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're pretty open about that. Do you have like a 5-year goal, 10-year, and all that?
I have loosely based plan, but I mean, I know what I want to do in my
Step
head.
1, make money.
Make a lot
Step
of
2,
money.
see step 1.
Yeah. Step 2 is spend a lot of money.
What do you spend to make and all that?
Yeah. So.
This is kind of your first rodeo at business,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, like this is like the real thing. Yeah, I've done like little Avon stands or, you know, drew art here and there. But as far as legitimate where I'm actually in the community and people know that I'm doing this thing, yeah, this is.
do you have good resources as far as like advice on how to run a business and stuff?
Google.
We got to get some people in touch. Isn't
Yeah.
that part of what you're doing with the farm to
Yeah,
business?
the small business collaborative. Those
Yeah.
The resources are there. If I ask for them, I haven't asked for anything
Yeah.
like that yet. Well, no, I did. I asked one person about how to apply for small business loans, and then I just think I just wasn't interested in that. I wanted to own everything, and you know, I'm seeing now that by not going and getting business loans and stuff, I'm starting at a much smaller scale, but whenever I'm selling a t-shirt, I know that that's profit that I'm
Right.
making. It's, you know, I'm having to work a little harder as far as putting vinyl on shirts as opposed to buying the $7,000 machine to do it and outsourcing that until I can, but I'm not wanting to go into debt. I've been in debt for a lot of my life, and I'm not willing to go into debt for this yet if I don't have to. And
Yeah, that's
so
good.
far I have
I
not
wouldn't-
had to.
I wouldn't invest that much into it until you had enough return.
Yeah. And the return's there. The return would be there if I were to take out loans to get the things that I need, but I don't want to go that route.
Not necessarily.
Yet. I don't want to go that route. So far I'm doing okay, slow, but I'm okay. I'm okay with this slow and steady thing right now.
That's good. Wins the race, they say.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Except for bigger is better, we confirmed. You confirmed.
And hot dogs in hallways are not good.
Not good.
And there are always ways to get laid in the hoosegow.
That about sums it up.
I think that's
Thanks
good.
for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Boom. It was a good show, and I can't wait until next week. Still can't find that beer lid.